This is Gemara Baba Basra Daf Kuf Tes Zayin. All the learning should be an incredible schos aliyas and neshama for Nachum ben Mordechai b'siyata d'Shemaya. The Koyach HaTorah, which of course knows no bounds, should be elevating the neshama of Nachum ben Mordechai to a higher place in Gan Eden Shamayla, closer to the Kisei HaKavod. As well as the learning should bring an incredible schos of Shlema for Tinik ben Miriam Ahuva b'siyata d'Shemaya, a complete refuah shlema b'karev. We continue on the last line. This is the daf already. We're up to the first day of Chol Hamoed. Shabbos is daf. Amar Le, the last line of Kuftas Vav and Beis Rabbi V'Kachata Patrani. We're in the middle of a discussion between the Rav Yechanan Zakkai and the Tzedukim. Who's this person? Melech Shapor, it was Shmuel, it was Rabbah. Says the Gemara, Omar, and we ended off that whether it's Rapapa, whether it's a Rabbah, said a pasuk Huana Demeikara, proving that it was the same son of Seir. So Omar Lei, so now the Tzeduki, again the Tzedukim going with the literal text, not with the Messiah, says the Tzeduki, Rebbe, Bakach Ata Patreni, with such an answer you answer me. Amar Loi, Yechanan Zakkai responded, Shoite, you fool. As we turn over to Kufta Zamin, Amar Aleph says, Yechanan Zakkai, V'lo Torah Shlema Shalanu, Kesicha Betila Shelochem. Our Torah, says Rav Yechanan Zakkai to the Tzeduki, our Torah should not be like Sicha Betila of yours. And now Rav Yechanan Zakkai explains what exactly was his point when he said the Torah should not be like Sicha B'Teila. That the Kal V'Chomer that you just said has no basis. Ma lebas b'noi. The daughter of the son has a strong power in the place of the achin, in place of the father's brother. Why? Because she takes her father's nachala. Taimer bebitai. Should we say the same thing about one's own daughter? Shahura koyach who has a weak koyach that she does not inherit in the place that there are brothers. So as Rav Yechanan Zakkai to the Tzeduki, there's no place for your Kal V'Chomer v'nitzcham. And Lamaisa, the Rabbanan declared victory over the Tzedukim. Vois hayoim asa yantif. And on that day, which the Mefarshim explained is the 24th of Teves, they made a yantif. Continues the Gemara with a new pasuk. Vayimru Yerushas Pleita LeBinyamin V'layimcha Sheva MiYisrael. Quotes the pasuk that a nachala from those who are left from Binyamin and a shevet should not be wiped out from Klal Yisrael. Amar Rav Yitzchak Dvei Rav Ami Melamed, you know this teaches us. Shehisnal Shevet Binyamin Shlo Tirish Bas Ben Imachim. They made a stipulation with Shevet Binyamin that the Bas Ben, the daughter of her son, should not get the nachla together with the father's brothers, the children of the deceased. Says the Gemara, Adin. Now we take a little bit of a left turn, quoting a Gemara, which is going to be more from the end of the Masechta, discussing what happens, the level of calamity, of tragedy, if one were to be nifter and have no children. Amar Rav Yochanan Misham Rashbi, Kol Sheniach Ben Liyarsha HaKadosh Baruch Hu Mali Olav Aveira. Anyone who does not have a child to inherit them, and particularly a ben, says the Gemara, Hashem is full of anger. Why? Ksivacha, it says in the pasuk Vavartem Znachalasa, Ksivasa Miyam Oivra. The pasuk of Nachla says it should be transferred over, and then the pasuk about HaKadosh Baruch Hu says a day of anger. The word Avartem, the word ever is the same word. What do we see? We see if someone is nifter without any sons, and the Nachla goes over to a daughter, Hashem is angry. And of course, we'll just parenthetically mention that sometimes it's out of one's control. One might have many children, but, he wasn't zeicha to have a ben. But that is the reality of what happens, that Kadosh Baruch Hu isn't happy with such a situation. Ashein chalifais lamai v'lo yaray alekim, continues the Gemara quoting that there's no replacement, and they fear Hashem. Rabbi Yochanan Shimon Levi, Talmud. Two different ways of learning the issue at hand. Either one does not leave a son, or one does not leave over any Talmud. So we're not sure who holds what. So says the Gemara, let's bring a raya on the first wide line. The raya is that Rabbi Yochanan is the one that says, if you don't leave over a Talmud. Dama, Rabbi Yochanan din garme dasirei bir. Rabbi Yochanan famously about Mitzia. Rabbi Yochanan buried 10 children. Rabbi Yochanan would comfort people. Rabbi Yochanan would say, this is the bone of my deceased son. Now, if Rabbi Yochanan held that not having a child to follow him, there's no way he would ever console someone, because he lost all his children, Rachmana litzlan. Tistai, the Rabbi Yochanan Damar Talmud. So that's a beautiful araya, says the Gemara. Rabbi Yochanan must be of the opinion that it's not if one doesn't leave over a son, but rather if one does not leave over a Talmidim. Rabbi Yochanan Amar Talmud, Rabbi Shimon Levi Amar Ben. Shimon Levi says, Ben, I, Rabbi Shimon Levi La'azel Lebei Tami. Ask the Gemara 1 second, but Rabbi Shimon Levi would not go to the house of a Avel to mourn. Ella, who's the only house he would go to? He would only go pay a shiva call of someone who died without children. So ask the Gemara, what does that mean? So how can it be that you're telling me Shimon Levi is the opinion that holds that if one dies without a son, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is so upset at him, and those are particularly the people he went to pay a shiva call by? Ella says the Gemara 5 lines into the white lines of Yeshua ben Levi Udamar Talmud. Yeshua ben Levi Udamar Talmud Yochanan Rav Yochanan Amar Ben. Kasha the Rav Yochanan Rav Yochanan. So then, of course, we're left because we already proved that Rav Yochanan was the one that holds Talmud. Now we're proving Rav Yochanan is one that holds Ben. Says the Gemara like Kasha Ha Didei Ha Dirabe. One is Rav Yochanan's own opinion. One is Rav Yochanan's Rebbe's opinion, and Rav Yochanan just said it over. And we continue to a siman, and of course we bring to mind that Baruch Hashem, we've begun down the lane with the wonderful Zechru Simanim. I hope many people are joining together, mamish a few minutes a day, and it gives us such a high level clarity, memorizing, knowing what goes on at every daf. Continues the Gemara, Darash, Rav Pinchas ben Chama Darshin, Mai Dachsev, what is the meaning of the pasuk, V'hadar Shama B'Mitzrayim, and V'Hadad, excuse me, not V'Hadar, V'Hadad, Shama Mitzrayim, and Hadad heard of Mitzrayim that was Kishachav David and Vaisav, that David HaMelech was Nifter with his fathers, and V'Chimes Yoav Sarat Sava, and that Yoav, the commander, had died. V'Neima B'David Nemra B'Yishchiva B'Yoav Nemra Misa. Ask the Gemara, these are different words. Why are different words utilized by David and by Yoav? Explains the Gemara, David Sheniach ben Nemra B'Yishchiva. David left over a son, so we say Shchiu. Yoav Sheniach ben Nemra by Misa, a much stronger terminology. Says the Gemara, really? V'Yoav Sheniach ben V'Aksev and Yoav Avadia ben Chiel. David Sheniach ben Kimoisa, never ben Shchiva. Nemra by Shchiva, Yoav Sheniach by Kimoisa, Nemra by Misa. So says the Gemara, that's the importance of leaving over someone, not only a child, but one that falls in one ways. Continues the Gemara, Darsha Pinchas ben Chama, Kasha Niyas Toch Beis Shel Adam Yesem Echamisha Ma'akois. And this, of course, is a bit random, but Pinchas ben Yair says it, and Pinchas ben Chama, he was the Baal Memra in the previous Gemara. Says the Gemara, poverty is worse than 50 Ma'akois. And Amar, Chanuni Atem, says the pasuk, favor me, Re'i ki yada lekan negei bi. See, the hand of Hashem has touched me. V'ka'amar leila chavrei. And Eve's friend said to him, Yishamar al teifen al avain ki al zeh b'chart me'oni. Be careful, turn away, because you would want to have a poverty. So when Eve says that the hand of Hashem has touched me, his friends told him that his suffering is better than poverty. So the poverty, anios, is even worse than the suffering of Eve. Darsha Pinchas ben Chama, 5 lines down, another teaching of Rav Pinchas ben Chama. We continue by quoting the Mishnah, 3 lines at the end of the Amid that when one goes early in the Nachla, his own descendants go after him. But said the Mishnah that a father takes precedence over all the Yotzei Yerecha. So Bayram Barchama, Avi Av, Achi Av, Kiyon Avram v'Yishmael b'nechsei Esav, Ezem Mehen Kaidim. Asks the Gemara that when we have a clash between a father's father and uncles, a father's brothers, which ones come first? Amar Rava teaches Rava. You want to know which one comes first? Tashema, I'll bring you a raya. Says Rava on the last line. Ha'av koydem l'chol yotzei yerechai. Says clearly that a father comes before all yotzei yerechai. So from here it is perfectly clear that the father's father, the grandfather, goes before the brothers who are his own son. Why? Because the father comes before a child. Rami Bar Chama, what exactly was this kasha as we turn over to Kafte Zayin Amid Beis? Bar Chama, Agav Chorfe Lo Yayin Ba, because he was so quick, he didn't look into it. He was thinking about something else, and therefore he didn't really think about the question that he was asking, says the Gemara. Meaning there's no real hava, meaning it's that which he asked is explicit in that which we just said. What do we do with the brother of the deceased versus the grandfather? Amar Rava, says Rava Tashema, I'll bring you a raya. The father comes before all Yotzei Yerechai. Says the Gemara, we have a Braisa. A Braisa seemingly says that we have a father versus a Yotzei Yerechai, which is going to be a brother. So the grandfather is going to come first over that brother. Says the Gemara, Rami Bar Chama, when he asked this kasha, he was thinking that maybe Pshat in the Mishnah is that his own Yotzei Yerechai, it's true, come first, but not the Yotzei Yerechai of his children. Hachinami mistavra. Diktani zekal kolam nachli yitzrich kodim vilu iseli yitzchak yitzchak kodim. Hashdami tletzi yitzchak Yaakov kodim shamina. So Gemara proves conclusively that it must be that one's own Yotzei Yerechai are going to. Excuse me. Again, that was the Havamina. When we explained to Rabbi Bar Chama, the Havamina maybe was that the Yitzrecha Shalai and not Yitzrecha Shal Benai, but the Gemara is proving that that is not true, and rather the grandfather, that when we have a Shiloh to the grandfather and the brother is one generation closer, so the brother will indeed come before the grandfather. We'll pick it up from the Mishnah, B'siyata Dishmai.